Showtime.
Welcome back to the Enjoy the Walk podcast, guys. We are we're closing in on professional golf being back in all shapes and forms. The PGA Tour announcing they're pretty much starting up here in a week or two, and with the PGA Tour starting up, we can't forget about the Korn Ferry Tour. Dante, we had this guy on very early in our days, episode 3 or 4, something like that.
We did us rookies.
We were young bucks back then, back in the day of November, and when we were talking to him last, he was just getting ready for final stage of Q school. Kind of hoping he would have full status on the Korn Ferry Tour. Well, fast forward, he played well, and he's looking to start out what now is a kind of modified roll-around schedule for the Korn Ferry Tour 2020, 2021, and kind of, he's going to be able to wrap it up where we talked to him last, where he was going into last at Orange County National here coming up in October. But Mickey Demorat, happy to have you back on the show, buddy. You're excited to get things going here.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on again. It was last time we talked right before final stage, and I was hoping to play well there to get some status, and fortunately, was able to play well and get into the first 12 events of the year guaranteed, and we got through 6 of them before the season was cut short, but I've been able to keep my game sharp and grinding at home, playing a few Moonlight Tour events, staying sharp, and just ready to get back out there. I've had a mixture of some good and some bad. I've learned a lot just already, even though I've only played 6 events. I've had the lead halfway through the 3rd round. It didn't finish out the way I wanted to, but I've also played some solid golf in some final rounds, and it's been a good learning experience. So I'm looking forward to getting back to kind of a home game next week and TPC, and just get it rolling again. I'm ready to kind of prove that I can compete out there with those guys again.
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, I think you've proved the ability to kind of shoot up towards the top quickly. Take us through those first 6 events and kind of just the overall experience of getting your feet wet and kind of making a comfort out of the Korn Ferry Tour. You guys traveled a lot in those first 6 events as well. Just talk us through those first 6 and kind of what you learned and what you're going to take moving forward out of those first couple events.
Yeah, it's like you said, we were going all over the place. The first 2 events were in the Bahamas, and that was just a beautiful golf course we played. We played at the Sandals Resort, the first tournament, which was a beautiful Greg Norman design course. It was a little bit of a welcome to the tour moment, because the course is very, very tight. If you're playing with no wind, it'd be a difficult course, and then we get there and it's blowing about 30 gusts to 40 miles an hour, and made it to be a very difficult test. There's 2 holes in the back 9 or along the ocean there, and they're about 110 and 130 yard par 3s straight back into the wind. And I mean, I think I hit like a 5-iron and 6-iron into them each day. Did little chip shots, so it gives you an idea how strong the wind blew. But fortunately, I missed the cut by 1 there. I think the cut was 5 over, and I missed the cut by 1, shooting 6 over. But I felt like I played pretty well. I was disappointed to miss the cut first event of the year, but I knew I was still playing well coming off the final stage. And then the second event was also in the Bahamas. Played solid the first 2 days. I had the lead by, I think, 1 shot. The 3rd round, I started off really, really solid. I actually started out with a bogey and then birdied 3, and then had an eagle on the next hole, and kind of got myself into the lead. And the cameras kind of came on me, and I gave a few away, but it was just a cool experience being in the lead and being in the last group. Learned a lot from that about just patience and not trying to force the issue too much, try to birdie every hole. 72 hole is a lot of golf, and you don't have to win it on the 38th hole of the tournament. So then after that, we went to Panama, which was a tough golf course. I played well there. I wanted to kind of after not finishing as well in Bahamas, just get back into a rhythm, and I finished top 30 there, which is nice. And then went to Colombia after that, Bogota, which we played at 2 golf courses there, and had another solid event. Finished 21st there, which is my best finish so far. And we had a home game here in Florida. It was nice to be back in the States, kind of close to home, and unfortunately didn't quite my best stuff and missed the cut, but went to Mexico and played solid. Didn't finish as well as I wanted to, but it was cool to play there. And so yeah, we've been traveling all over. Just learned a lot about pacing myself, not trying to burn myself out too much early in the week. It's easy to kind of want to stay out there on the course all day and want to grind on every part of your game, but you got to save your energy. It's a long week, a lot of especially moving forward, we're going to be playing every week for 14 straight weeks. So I'm going to have to really use those lessons I've learned about just pacing myself and not trying to burn myself out too much. Otherwise, it's not going to benefit you in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, talk us through that too a little bit. I know the one week the Korn Ferry Tour brought you and another individual out and kind of let you experience, kind of the culture outside of the golf course. Do you see yourself doing a little more of that now that, you kind of have been through the ropes a couple times and maybe not seeing the golf course as much and maybe taking in some of the culture at some of these places that you go and travel to throughout the course of the rest of the season?
Yeah, that was a really cool experience. The guys from the digital media from the Korn Ferry Tour asked me and George Cunningham if we wanted to go up, and basically the tallest point in all of Bogota was like 12,000 feet elevation, and so it was just such a cool view, and something like I'd never done before. Just being in a different country like that, and it's funny how I played really well at that event, even though that was about as least preparation as I've ever had for a golf tournament. As far as coming in kind of late, tired, I was not even feeling 100% that week. I played one practice round on each course, kind of quick, but just taking some time away from the golf course, you get a little bit of appreciation for where you're at, around the world. I mean, it is, a job, but you gotta take some time to just enjoy where you're at. I mean, this is a cool opportunity to travel around the country and around the world to see cool spots, and that was an awesome experience. And moving forward, I'm gonna try to just take in a little bit of the local, whatever the local area has to offer, just kind of something to remember it by, and that kind of takes away some of the stress of just trying to grind on your game every week.
Yeah, I think man, that's just so relatable, even to like us who just get in local tournaments or anything like that. It's like you can always find yourself maybe grinding a little too hard, especially the night before a tournament or the day before a tournament. You almost feel guilty sometimes if you're not out there long enough, and you say, well, so and so's probably working a little harder than me, and hitting some more balls, hitting some more putts. It's like, I should be out there, I should be playing, and sometimes that little break for your mind almost does you better than sitting out there grinding over something as minuscule as you've put the time in over the last months, years, and whatever to be ready and be prepared. So that's cool to hear that that was actually one of your kind of your best weeks out there on tour.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, you think about it, I mean, you're not really going to change a whole lot a couple days before a tournament starts. I mean, what you show up with is kind of what you got, and anyone that's trying to make big changes a couple days before by grinding on the range for 3 hours probably isn't going to do very well. So you're better off just kind of putting in the work you need to, and then taking the rest of the time to do something else. That's something that I've kind of learned so far. Just it's different than college. College events, you're only playing one event every 3 or 4 weeks, and playing every week is definitely a little bit different, and you can only work on so many things, but it's a long season. You don't have to burn yourself out at one event. So yeah, that's definitely something that I'm going to be more aware of moving forward.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool to hear. And with the time off, you were able to kind of, rest your mind, rest your body a little bit. But you didn't take too much time off. You said you were grinding, before we got on, and we're really working on some things of the game. What were a couple aspects that you really pinpointed as areas of improvement during this kind of, impromptu vacation time?
Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to kind of work out was actually my equipment and my club setup. So I actually went up to the TaylorMade Kingdom, which was in Georgia at Reynolds Plantation, and because first year being with TaylorMade, I wanted to make sure that all my clubs were kind of fit to my specs. And the first few events traveling around, a lot of the trucks, tour trucks weren't there, so I couldn't really tweak as many things as I wanted to. So I actually went up and changed my driver shaft, got some different wedges and a couple 3-woods. So I feel like I finally have a bag that actually fits my swing and my game right now really well. So that was one thing, and I've just been not as much changing my technique or my swing as much as just working on the scoring clubs, working on my short game and putting and wedge distance control. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me for scoring, I feel like. I mean, I usually drive the ball pretty well. I have my good days and not as good days ball striking, but normally it's the difference between the wedges and the short game that's going to get you, the bad rounds to be better. The really good rounds, take advantage of those when you're hitting it really well. You got to convert those putts. So yeah, I'm just, and also working on having the right mindset and attitude, not getting too frustrated or high or low, just keeping an even keel. Even in these little mini tours I've been playing, where you still feel a little bit of pressure on you. So I've been just trying to, bring all those little things together. So hopefully it'll be just kind of improve even just a little bit each round when I get back.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, man, Dante and I tinker constantly with our equipment, and and to have something in the bag, Dante. I mean, you can touch on this too, that you just feel confident with. I mean, you just switched a putter grip yesterday because you were really just uncomfortable with the new grip that was on your putter. And I mean, it goes down to that, whether it's like a lie loft angle on a driver or some shaft that's just a little bit different for you, or even, just changing grips. I mean, a fresh grip on a club can make the mind feel so confident over a swing. It's so key to get that kind of things dialed in.
That's very true.
Especially the grips. I mean, even if like the grip's just a little worn in one spot and it feels a little slick, oh man, I'll tell you what, I like having a tacky grip. I have smaller hands, so I like to have to make sure that I have full control when my hands are on the club. So if that one little thing is just off in the feel of my hands, it's going to be a long day for me, because I'm not. I mean, that's the only thing your body connects to the club,
Yeah.
And then, I mean, so if that's off, your entire day is going to be extremely off. And that's the same thing. Like I was talking to Dalton earlier, the putter grip, I had this nice grip on it, but it was a little too tacky for a putter grip, in my opinion. And it just was so rough and tough to get on that I think it was actually slightly crooked, but it wasn't. But it caught it. My eye just couldn't catch it. Every time I would look down, every time when I'm playing throughout the round, checking, is this grip actually on right? And I said, you know what, screw it, purchased a different one, ripped it off, and just wait. Now I'm waiting for this one to dry. So, hopefully it'll be dry to take it out tomorrow, and I'll still miss putts, but at least I'm confident missing them. No, I'm just kidding. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just ordered new grips myself. I got grips are, I got those right before first stage, and I haven't changed them since. They're like super slick now, and I'm just like, I had to ask the guy from TaylorMade to send me new ones. Hopefully they'll be here in a couple days. I can get them on before the tournament. But I'm like, that's gonna feel nice, like just having those fresh grips. I mean, it's just feel like you said, like you get a good feeling in your hands, and it's like you can hit a great shot just because you feel good over the ball. It's amazing how that works.
Boy, it's crazy because, like, I just played with Dante, and the humidity the other day got so bad that between every shot, we've just felt like we were playing in rain almost. Our hands were so sweaty, and I didn't realize kind of how bad my grips were until you really, you got over a shot where you had to swing all out, and you took a couple practice swings, and then you're like, man, I don't know if this thing's going to slip out of my hands or not. And just a little feeling like that, I can't even imagine we were just playing for a couple bucks and let alone, trying to play for a job. It's that kind of security that you really need to have. So I got to ask, what grips are you rocking?
I'm just using the Golf Pride Tour Velvets, just like the plain black ones, man. Like nothing special. I've used New Decade multi-compounds in the past, but I think it was in college. I just went to like the I felt like the little tackiness of the Tour Velvets, like when they're new, they feel so good. So I'm just like, you know what, if they're gonna give me new ones, I'm just gonna use the ones that feel the best when they're fresh.
Yeah, I have one of those on my. I just picked up a new club, and when I ordered it, you had the option that. So I play the Super Stroke S-Tex, which I really like. But they're like hard to come by when I order certain clubs off online. So I just went with the Tour Velvet like 360, so no logo on it. And when I cleaned it up, and it's crazy too. Once you like clean it up, or you throw a little soap on it, you like kind of like the dust off of it, or get some type of sweat off of it. Man, the tackiness that those actually have is pretty insane. And I'm kind of contemplating. I'm like, you know what? I might just strip the entire set and just pull out some Tour Velvets, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like wet that towel before every shot and just give it a quick wipe down and just get that little extra tackiness.
Yep.
You guys are both crazy. I've had multi-compounds on my clubs since I was like a freshman in college, and I just haven't been able to go back to anything ever since. So
those are good. I got like 3 old sets of irons with those on there. So, maybe I'll go back to them one day. But
listen, I'm not hating on any grip, but I'll tell you what, I had one of those multi-compound ones on, then like out of the blue, like the bottom half of the grip just randomly one day they got like super slick, and I said, what the heck happened here? Had no idea. And I was like, nope, moving on, trying something new. But hey, you got to go with what's comfortable to you in your hands, because again, you're the one swinging the club, and that's the only connection you're going to have. So that's like, grips are, I think, sometimes underrated for how important they really are.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I just I got to find somebody to put my grips on. I don't have the stuff to change it myself. So I'm gonna be going to my local golf store before I get to the tour event, trying to get these things on.
Public service announcement, guys. Your Korn Ferry Tour boys, they still go to Dick's Sporting Goods to get their golf clubs changed. I tell you, when you don't have the proper like vice grip or anything like that, they're tricky, brutal. Man. They're tricky to get on.
They are brutal. I went out and spent all the money just to get this certain parts for it.
Better man than I. Well, we were talking a little earlier, and you mentioned you kind of in your backyard to start out Korn Ferry for 2020. Next week coming up, they're at TPC Sawgrass, and you've played quite a few rounds there. Talk us through, what it feels like to kind of just start off in your hometown.
Yeah, it's gonna be great going back to TPC Dyes Valley course. It's a golf course that I've played many times. Like I had a college event out there every year, so played that event 3 times. Played a junior event out there. I've also gone up there. It's only about 2 hours away from my house, and being on the Korn Ferry Tour, we get privileges at TPC, so I've been able to go up there and play that course, practice up there a couple of different times, and so I feel really just comfortable. It's nice to be at a golf course that, it's not new to me like a lot of the Korn Ferry events are. I don't feel like I'm going into a blind and having to do a ton of work, Monday through Wednesday to figure out the golf course. So it's just going to be a little bit ease of mind, easing into that tournament. And my caddy, is going to be trying to figure it out. But I'm just glad to kind of be able to have a home game and drive 2 hours to see the course, and then only drive about half an hour away south after that event to play the next one at the World Golf Village. This is another home game, so it'll be nice to start out with just a couple of close events right out the gate, and just hopefully play well before we kind of go all over after that.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely go all over after that. Utah, Colorado, San Antonio, and then out to the Price Cutter, and then to Portland and Boise. Talk us through that stretch. What is have you been out to that part of the country before? And if you have, what do you think is kind of maybe going to be your most comfortable events kind of through that stretch?
Yeah, so last year when I was doing a lot of the Monday qualifiers, I went out to Utah. I didn't make it. I'm actually, so the second event, it starts, the one at the World Golf Village is a Wednesday through Saturday tournament. So there's an extra day of travel there. And, since we go to Utah, then Colorado is pretty close. I'm actually driving from Jacksonville to Utah, which is about a 31-hour drive. But, I'm going to take an extra day, get out there. No plane, no rental car for a couple weeks. So I'll go there. Colorado's, right there, and then down to San Antonio, which is a little bit of a drive but we're there for 2 weeks. So my caddy's doing the same thing. He's driving all 17 events. So he's going all the way from there to Portland after that.
Wow. Who's your caddy? We got to shout out that man.
His name is Raymond Yoel. He goes by In the Way Ray. But yeah, he's a stud, man. He's got his car packed up with everything, all these yardage books from, every single tournament, all the pin sheets. He's loaded. But so yeah, it's going to be an interesting way to get there to Utah. But I think once I get there, it'll be all right. I'll be able to kind of relax and just be nice to have my car. Just be able to no planes or rental cars. I don't love flying anyways, so I don't mind long road trips. It's just going to be treat it as like a little adventure out there to the Midwest kind of. So
that's pretty sweet, man. And that little bit of comfort, I think, tour pros back in the day, even they'd take those little Winnebagos or just any kind of little camper and do a trip like that. And a little taste of home, whether it's truly home or not, seems to do wonders for the mind. So that's really neat to hear you're making the drive out there in your own car. And man, that's going to be a haul.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm gonna have to stop somewhere, maybe Kansas City for a little snooze. But yeah, like I said, we get an extra day of travel, so I was like, my caddy can do it. I think I can do it. It will be motivating for each other. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a long stretch, 14 I think straight weeks. So as of now, I'm planning to play every single one of them. So it's gonna be hopefully I can kind of play well in these first few events and just kind of relax a little bit. But, I'm planning to play them all. And, now that we've kind of got a shorter season, it's going to be just kind of a race to the finish. Although, we're not having Q school for next year, so it's going to be one long season, which is kind of nice knowing that, worst case, you got status for the next year. So it's kind of like you're getting 48 events almost just out of one Q school. So it's a good year to get in.
Yeah, I mean, talk us through that a little bit too. When they announced kind of the wraparound schedule, as they called it, was there, like you just said, a little bit of relief, but a nice kind of, knowing that, yes, you can, race to the finish, as you said, to the championship this year, but kind of set yourself up and put yourself even in a more comfortable spot going into next year and even further beyond with those extra events guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's tough for some guys that they don't have status on Korn Ferry, obviously not having a chance to go to Q school and having to try to Monday qualify, or even the Canadian Tour season is canceled. But it's I was in a position where I felt like it was a good thing. I hadn't won early in the year, so I hadn't like locked up potential card for next year, but obviously still got a lot of events left and a lot of chances to move up the rankings. But I feel really good about my position and just how, like you said, it's almost like a little bit of a relaxing knowing that I'm going to have status for next year. I'm going to be getting in a lot of events based on, being on the points list, and, 1 week doesn't make or break you. So, just got to go out there and try to relax and do your best and just be grateful for the opportunity to play these events, because a lot of guys would kill to get into these Korn Ferry Tour events or trying to Monday qualify for 4 spots. It's a grind. There's a ton of good players in those Mondays. I mean, Jonathan Berg's, I think, trying to Monday for the first event, and like he's a tour winner. So it's like I got a great opportunity just where I'm at, and just gotta be grateful for that and for having another year.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. You gotta, just take everything that's given to you. And, you mentioned a previous tour winner there. I want your opinion real quick on another previous tour winner, a major winner, that was making some noise for possibly wanting to go muck it up with the boys down in Korn Ferry. VJ Singh was, talking about coming back and playing with you guys in that first event back at TPC. Was there any thoughts on him, playing with you guys, or were you hoping to get matched up with him?
Yeah, it's funny. The few times I've gone up to TPC the last couple of weeks, like I can hit on the back of the range where a lot of the PGA guys and BJ's out there every time I see him just grinding. I mean, he's got his huge bucket of balls, he's got his caddy, and they're just grinding. So he's still got the itch to compete. Even though Korn Ferry Tour is obviously not the level of the PGA with the purses or anything like that, but the man loves to play. And for what he's done, for the game, being a 34-time tour winner or something like that. I mean, he's won a couple majors. I think if he wants to play, it's great for our tour and the Korn Ferry, just bringing in some recognition. And, it's just cool to be able to compete against guys like that, Hall of Famers. And, I mean, I think it's awesome just to, see where the game stacks up against a guy like that. Even though he's a little bit older, he's still got some serious game. And, it'd be cool to play with him. I've never gotten to play with him before, but I can't, a guy like that who's earned his spot in golf history, you can't deny him a place to play if he wants to play. I think he's earned every right to play wherever he wants. So it'll be cool to see.
I thought the same thing, man. I thought it just spoke to how much he loves the game. I think everyone is, in your guys' shoes that love competitive play, whether it's Korn Ferry, PGA, Senior Tour, whatever, you just love to compete. You guys have an itch and a drive and a love for the competition side of the game. And I think it shows for him. And I watch him on social media, and not only is he grinding on the back of the range, like you said, at TPC, he's grinding in the gym. He's grinding, he's probably in better shape now than he was when he won all those tour events and all those majors. He's just an absolute athletic freak now. So it's cool to see, the old guys like that still have the drive and, to get it out against you young bucks and see what they have too. I mean, as he gets older, he's probably stacking it up and saying, let's see what I have against the young guys. So it was cool. It was cool news to see.
Yeah. I've been up to, so every week at TPC, they've been having this money game. They've been having 2-day events on the stadium course. And so a lot of the local guys, like VJ or Jim Furyk, Billy Horschel, Russell Knox, they've been getting out there and playing. And I went up and played last week. It was $420 to play, $20 for skins. And, it's just I had to play Russell Knox the second day. And it's this guy's won $20 million on tour, and he's out here just eating his packed lunch on the course, playing for this $400 entry fee.
Just throwing some PB&Js.
I was gonna say, is it Uncrustables out there on TPC Stadium or what?
He brought out some little sandwich. I think it was maybe a PB&J or something, but it's Jim Furyk's out there on the range talking to Billy. It's man, these guys are just, I mean, at the end of the day, they're golfers. And they like to play and compete. So it's
it's all just common man golf. The purse is just a little higher than the rest of us.
So is that how you kept the juices flowing? Just some money games, reaching out to some other players and traveling the courses and just getting big matches going?
That was one good one. We've got some good players on my home course at Suntree, and we've been, Nick Lindheim's on the PGA Tour. So we've been playing a little bit. The rest of them has just been moonlight tours, man. Just 1-2-day events. You pay your $120 to, 2 days are $300. But yeah, I've been playing those. You get some good players out there now that everybody's looking for something to play. We've got Chris Couch, Brian Davis, these guys that have won on the PGA Tour out there playing against us on the Moonlight Tour. So it's cool. When you see guys like you see on the PGA Tour come back and play little mini tours, it gets you motivated. So I still feel some nerves even in those little money games.
Yeah, I mean, talk us through that too, man. You took a second place with a little bit of COVID golf, kind of biting you in the butt. You're not a fan of those upside down cups anymore, are you?
No. We had a 2-day event at Champions Gate, the international course, and the second round I was tied for the lead with my buddy Ted Smith, who I was playing with the second round, and I think I was tied for the lead, on the 14 little par 3, and I had about a 3-footer for par, and I hit hit the upside down cup right on the wrong angle of the flagstick, and it popped right back out. And fortunately, I got into a playoff, by making birdie on 18. But then I messed up the playoff hole, and he got the win. So I should have won it outright. I can't, but I did give myself a chance at least. So, but yeah, that actually happened to me at another event too. Popped right out. It didn't cost me a win, but so it happened to me twice. But I'm ready to start taking these flagsticks out, and just being able to jam those short ones in the hole, not have to worry about it.
For sure, yeah. Now, have you heard from the Korn Ferry Tour? What's the status going to be when you get out there of the play from that perspective? Is it going to be normal cups when you guys get back to tournament play?
So yeah, we're going to be able to take out the flagsticks. A lot of the rules, the caddies aren't able to touch any of our clubs or the balls or the flag sticks. So a lot of that's going to just be on the player as far as like cleaning their own clubs and balls and everything like that, which is it's going to be interesting.
So you're getting rid of the prima donnas out there real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can't, so they can carry the bag, but they can't touch the sticks.
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of goofy, but
sometimes you got to wonder who makes these rules. But you know what? Yeah. We'll follow them. we want tournament golf. We'll follow them.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like college golf. I can't complain. It's just gonna be just like I'm back playing a college event, but it'll be different. But hey, I can't complain. I just want to play golf, man. I can't complain.
Hey, we want you back playing golf. We want to watch tournament golf. I miss coming home from a mid-afternoon round and catching the last couple holes of a PGA Tour event.
The Sunday money matches at your local muni or club, and then you just come back and just kick the feet up on the couch with the beer in your hand, just watching some professional golf is great. But right now we don't have that second part, and I'm pretty pumped to see that coming back.
Yeah. Oh my God. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Excited for it, man. Well, hey, best of luck next week and the week after, in your hometown. And then after that, best of luck on your, little road trip across the country, and be safe, play well, man. And we're pulling for you, have fun out there. And thanks for joining us again this evening.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it. I'll, hopefully, just get out there and get on a roll. And I think the event in Utah is on TV. So, hopefully I can play well, and, you can give me a little shout out if you see me out there. All right.
Oh, that's it, man. We'll be tuning in whether you're on TV or not, man. And as always, man, excited just to have you, and always pulling for you. So best of luck out there, buddy. And we'll definitely talk soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that was Mickey Demorat. Always a freaking pleasure, man, talking to him. So down to earth. I wish Isaiah could have popped on with us this evening to talk to his old buddy, from college. But, man, just what a cool cat. I mean, he seems like he's got the demeanor to just kind of handle himself out there on tour. And, while a lot of guys kind of sat back and used that as vacation time, he got right to work when COVID hit, and went to the kingdom, like he said, and got his specs right. Got his game in check, and I'm not putting the pressure on by saying expect big things, but I think he's going to see some success out of the next couple tournaments. I got some good vibes going from Mick running into the events in his hometown.
I agree, and I wanted to say it earlier, but when he said that his first two tournaments back to competitive golf, and actually, this is him making a push to make sure and help him get in and make the dream a reality to become a PGA Tour member. You have two courses and two events right in the beginning, basically in your backyard, that you've already played. So that takes so much pressure off of his shoulders right out the gate. It gives him a huge advantage, because he's talking about how guys would drive hours just to go, check out the course and basically get a feel for it, get the greens, kind of just see it firsthand. He's played it multiple times, so he knows where to hit the spots. He knows certain breaks already on the greens. So right there,
he's been playing money matches with the PGA Tour boys out there the last couple weeks. I'm excited to see what Mick does here in the next couple weeks. Man, I mean, when he was talking about race to the finish, I kind of briefly looked over the schedule, but looking at it now, they come back June 8th through the 14th. The Korn Ferry Challenge at TPC Sawgrass, the Dyes Valley course, not the stadium course. But from there to the Korn Ferry Championship, where it's all decided, top 25 get their card, August 24th. So it's really only 2 months of golf every week. And not just golf like here and there. It's golf everywhere. Like they said, Florida, Utah, Colorado, Texas, Missouri, Nebraska, Oregon, Idaho, and then Ohio. And then to Indiana for the championship. So, I mean,
are they having like multiple events at like the same time?
No, that's just week after week after week.
Jeez.
Yeah, it is going to be a grind. These guys, I mean, they're going to be fresh. I know that, and they're all chomping at the bit to play. But man, that's a lot of golf in 2 months. And as you and I can attest, and I'm sure a lot of the golf nuts out there can attest, playing a couple days in a row is exhausting. And then let it alone having to get in a car and, like he said, driving 30 hours to go to Utah. That takes a toll on the body, and these guys are really going to have to manage their diets, their time, their just their practice rounds and everything. But I can tell you this, and I think I'm going to guarantee you this: not just Mickey, but everybody out there, you're going to see some damn good golf being played here in the next 2 months.
Not disagreeing with you on that one. They're going to be so amped up. The juice is flowing. They're going to be firing at pins. I mean, you're going to see these guys hitting some shots that they don't even think they would normally hit just because of how pumped they are. It's going to be very exciting to see. It's going to be, and if we can get some viewership on our end, I think that would be huge to showcase the Korn Ferry Tour a lot, because this is where it starts. This is for those out there that are trying to grind and have a dream of making it on tour. This is where you go. This is where you go to take the next step to get to that highest level. So, if they could somehow showcase and get some broadcasting on the Korn Ferry Tour stuff, I would tune into that 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're gonna have to at least put some time on the schedule for the TPC Sawgrass. I think that course is already set up for some kind of viewership. But then Mickey said the Utah event is going to be definitely televised. So we're going to see the Korn Ferry Tour out and about on TV. Probably the Golf Channel, I would imagine, would be covering that. So, we're going to get to see these guys who are playing for their livelihoods, playing for their jobs, grind it out week in and week out. So excited to see that, man. I'm just like we said when we were talking to him, to come back on a Sunday afternoon after playing your Sunday morning match with your boys, hopefully a little cash in your pocket afterwards and kicking it back in the afternoon and just watching golf, there's nothing better. And I'm so stoked for that to be back.
You mean like more like money in your Venmo account these days?
Yeah, COVID rules, money in your Venmo account, PayPal if you use that, but electronic money.
Right. Yeah, no. It's that'd be I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I'm definitely be keeping and tuning in. Cuz shoot, any way you can broadcast live sports is going to be people are going to tune in. So if we can get some, that just can be good for just like everything. Just like, live sports, golf, Korn Ferry Tour, you name it. It'll just be great for the golf community. It'll just be great for the sports community, because let's face it. My dad's been saying, he's like, man, I just miss sports. I just want something to watch. He's watching 80s He's watching 80s World Series replays on MLB.
We're getting desperate as a human race right now for some live sports. That's why the match went over so well. That's why the Tiger Phil match went over so phenomenally well. People are just jonesing for some live sports. And, like we said, with the Korn Ferry coming back, the PGA Tour is coming back kind of right after them. June 11th through the 14th, Charles Schwab out in Fort Worth, Texas. Now, obviously, like we've kind of talked about earlier, no one's having fans at this first kind of I would almost even call it a trial run for sports coming back. Nothing's guaranteed. I think in the climate we're in right now, nothing's guaranteed. So I feel like it's just a trial run, but they're coming back in Fort Worth, Texas. And what a golf course out there. Colonial Country Club has always been kind of like the storied place for, they've held so many events in the past. I'm excited to see that course again and make the debut of professional golf on the PGA Tour come back. Let's talk the field there for a little bit. There are some heavy hitters in this tour. And we said that before too. We said all the heavy hitters were going to come out the first time the tour came back. And it's proven to be true. I mean, you're seeing, I think they said 18 of the world's top 25 are going to be there. I mean, it's going to be a showdown.
Yeah. Sorry. Hold on. Pause. I'm freaking out over.
Yeah, man. So that field's going to be crazy. I want to get into, I mean, we talked about it a little bit when we were up in New Jersey with you last, but we have just been getting full advantage of our playing time now that golf is back.
Yes, sir.
I snuck in 54 the other day. I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm on this bender of like 36 a day for some reason. I'll go like 36, and then like two days off, and then I'm back to like 36. Shout out to my buddy Steve DiCarlo, man, down at Rum Point. He's kind of the instigator to the madness per se sometimes. We'll get done 18, and he's like, dude, we could have played better.
Yanking your chain over here, just like nudging you, just like.
I mean, and it doesn't take much because I'm a sucker for another 18 if it's really nice out, and it's been really nice out. So
I agree.
You don't have to yank my chain too hard to throw me into another 18.
Yeah, I'm the same way. But I've been basically almost playing 18 every day. And it's funny, my dad's kind of the one that's sitting there, hey, what's our schedule for next week? And I'm sitting there, well, you tell me what days you can play, and then I'll make the tee time. So we'll play kind of like almost like every other day. And then in between those every other days, I'm finding other people to play with. And we got a lot of members where there's always a big Wednesday game, which is a lot of fun. That's a net game. And then I think it's a net on Fridays. We call it Black Friday because they play the tips on the black tees. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to start hopping in on that one.
Is your dad retired?
He's retired.
Yeah, so my dad recently retired right before all this COVID stuff hit, right? And now that he's back, like all the golf courses are open, if I lived with my dad, I'd be playing more golf than I am now. And that's saying something. My dad is an absolute golf nut now that he's retired. Down a rabbit hole here quick. He plays with his Wednesday crew called the Golf Bandits, like a group of like 30 or 40 like old gentlemen, all retired, nothing better to do than play golf. And so he plays golf every Wednesday, right? They travel around different golf courses and play every Wednesday at a different golf course. But then his like childhood buddy works at a range just to pass the time because he's retired and got bored. So now my dad gets free golf balls whenever he wants up at this range too, and free like 9-hole at their little 9-hole course. I think my dad's played about 36 holes a day at a 9-hole track because he gets it for free. So, I mean, we talk about us being grinders. Shout out to my dad and your dad for being the true instigators of retirement golf life.
Well, it's funny because my dad's always golfed a lot. Well, and then here and there, and then, he's always golfed. And then, we came around, my brother and myself, and, we played different sports growing up. So he took his free time and invested in our free time, getting into sports and all that. So for a good duration from when we were about 10 to, I would say just for me out of college, because my brother he went to college to play lacrosse and then ended up realizing it really wasn't for him. I went to the 4 years. So I would say from like 10 to 20, age 22, was constantly traveling back and forth, watching us play and putting all his free time and giving us the opportunity to be able to play all these things to then just kind of stopping. And then we got full-time jobs. And then I got into golf and then kind of got him back into it to where he's like playing all the time. And then once he retired, he's playing at least 4 times a week. And
Love
now
that.
it's, since we have all this free time, he say, where are we playing and what days? And it's like, all right, how about we do like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, and then the following week we have like a calendar now that we're gonna have to start writing in the days and what times.
I tell you what,
and where we want to play.
I have a dedicated calendar for the podcast, obviously, and then I have a dedicated calendar for other things in daily life. And I'm in the same boat, being laid off and just having all the free time. I'm on the edge. I'm on the precipice of needing that third calendar just for golf tee times. And I tell you what, I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah, and I mean, we have this free time right now. And this isn't going to happen again. Knock on wood. I
we
hope
hope
it
not.
don't.
Good Lord.
But
yeah.
But like, I mean, you can't do anything else.
My dad told me this, and it's like, it's not only just a golf thing. Like, obviously we were talking about golf when he said it, but it's not just a golf thing. It's a life thing. And it goes back to, man, the numerous conversations we've had about how great the game of golf is to the game of life. My dad said to me, we were talking one day when we were down at our cabin and playing golf a little bit. He said to me, he's like, I'm really glad you could get down this weekend, this week and play some golf with me, my uncle, my grandfather. He said, what other opportunity would you have had? You wouldn't have taken vacation time from your job to be down here in a random week in April. We had beautiful weather. It was gorgeous out there. My grandfather just had a ball that we all were there, and we were all only there because of COVID, pretty much. I mean, and he said to me, he's like, it's times like this in life where you have one of two choices. You have a choice to kind of sulk and wallow in the times that are upon you and kind of just sit and shelter yourself, or you have a time to make the best of it. And I think it spoke so loudly to how people can react to just the game of golf in general. Like, hit a bad shot. From that shot to your next shot, are you going to sit and pout and throw clubs, or are you going to say, you know what, like, I'm still on a golf course.
And I'll be out here tomorrow.
Life could be so much worse right now. Like, and that's what's crazy, man. And I think we've seen it in the golf community, and I think we've been blessed to be in the golf community through all of this, because I think that's everyone who truly has a passion for the game. That's how everyone approached this crisis, was that mentality of like, hey, it sucks. Like, don't get me wrong. This sucks. People were truly affected by it. But, like, how can we band together? Like, we saw so many people from Pinehurst to Bandon to caddy programs to just so many companies and people shutting down operations and saying, you know what can we do? How can we be better and give back? And, like, I challenge people to see other industries as a whole that did that. Like, we're so blessed to be in the golf community, because I feel like that's a lot of people's approaches, simply because we play this amazing game.
Yeah, and we've said it before. It takes away from the reality that you're in. It's a nice break. I mean, we are going through some shit right now. I mean, we don't even have to go down that rabbit hole. We already know what's going down. But, I mean, when you step on a golf course, you're just escaping from reality. And you're just taking in the beautiful, scenic venue that you're at. Some of the holes that you're playing at are just gorgeous. I mean, you're just on green grass and your birds chirping. You got the wind rustling on the leaves, and you're just out on this golf course. It's just you and the golf course and a couple other buddies. There's no one really else around you, because it's 15-minute increments of tee times. So there's no way in hell you're seeing anybody. And it's just that. I mean, and it's like you said, it's like you and your family. It's like me and my dad. It's me and my dad just out there having one hell of a time, spending some quality family time. and just getting away from the nonsense that we
I will say, like you said, we don't get political, but I have to bring up this PGA memes post from today. I think it just perfectly encapsulates the time we're in, the time, that golf maybe can play on what we're doing, and kind of give a perspective to why golfers approach life the way they do. It said, I wish the world was more like a golf foursome. And this is so true. If anyone has ever gone out there as a single and joined a random group, or as even a twosome and been paired up with two other people, the rest of the post says you start out as strangers, you struggle together, you encourage each other, you laugh, you tell stories, and you leave as friends.
Dude,
how true is that?
It's 100% true, and I'll tell you why. Last week, played Riverwinds. And this is, at first, like during the week, me and my dad it was twosome. So it was great. So like we didn't have to worry about anybody. It was just him and I booked it. Boom, done. We're in, we play 18 out, go home. Now foursomes. And since it's limited spots, they're going to I can book me and my dad, but they're not going to just close out that tee time and just give me two. I mean, they're trying to get these people are paying to play. Like they're going to get people to play. Mm-hmm. So what are they going to do? They're going to leave that open, or they're going to pair you up with two random guys. Well, fast forward, Dad and I played Riverwinds the other day. We get paired up with these two guys, and being members from the same like Jaworski Golf Association, I guess you can call it that, down at Running Deer or whatever. That's kind of like the hub. They're members. We're playing, we're shooting the shit, we're having a good time, we're laughing, we're this and that. Turns out the next day we're playing the same course, but he's the tee time 15 minutes earlier than I am. I was like, hold up. I was like, you playing with anybody? No. Got his number, called the shop, spoke to Clay. It was like, yo, Clay, so was like, has the tee time. We were 1 o'clock. He was at 12:45. 12:45. You put him with anybody? No. Can you put us with them? Sure, no problem. Next day, I met this guy on a Tuesday. Got his number. Play with him on a Wednesday. Played with him the following day.
Dude, I love it, and the story speaks true to like where I'm at in golf right now too. I wouldn't play as much golf as I just mentioned before if I hadn't have met Steve. And how I met Steve was my dad and I making a random tee time. We were already down in Ocean City, Maryland. We were, we were kind of having a couple drinks right on our balcony over the beach on Saturday night. And we said, we don't really go to church when we go down to the beach, how should we spend our Sunday morning? And my mom, classic mom, is like, well, I'm sleeping in. I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm sleeping in. And then as soon as I wake up, going to the beach. She's like, hey, my mom's a beach fiend. You had to pull her off the beach to get her out, Yeah. And so my dad and I were like, well, before the golf course closes, let's call them up and see if we can get a tee time. They said they had 2 spots available for the first tee time out in the morning. It was with 2 employees of the course. And we're like, oh yeah, sure. Send us out. It was either then or 1:30 in the afternoon. So we had like 2 options pretty much. So we booked it, and the rest is history. I met a cart guy down there named Chase Esslin, who after the round was over, I shot like even par 1 under. And to him, it was like the coolest thing he'd ever seen in his life. And like, not because of how I played, but just like the round with me and my dad. And like, we just vibed, it was just like, it's like the post said, it was like, we became best friends and we left as best friends. I got his number. He said, if you're ever on the Eastern Shore again, call me. Like, let's play golf. Lo and behold, I graduate college, get a job on the Eastern Shore. First guy I text, Chase Esslin. I say, hey, buddy, let's go play golf. Like, well, let's go play golf a lot. And now I'm a member at the courses that I ended up playing with Chase because of those guys. And that's how I met Steve. And that's how I basically found my group of guys that I play golf with all the time. And that's what golf can do, man. Golf doesn't just build friendships. It builds like lifelong companions. And I don't know if I like that word or not, but it builds some sort of bond that just you can't find in a lot of other aspects of life.
No, And I agree. And it's crazy too how, and funny story about that with Steve DiCarlo, turns out you're like, yeah, I got this buddy Steve, this and that.
What a small world.
Seeing posts from him playing Riverwinds one day. He played maybe like a couple hours after me. Turns out he's from the same area. Turns out he went to the rival high school from my high school. He went to Clearview. I went to Kingsway. It's like just crazy how tight knit that the golf community is, but at the same time, how broad it can be. And it's just, you just meet people and you're out there sharing the same experience, having a good time. And then, like you said, at the end of the round, you're walking off 18, you just met, you met three, if you were playing with three other strangers, you just made three new friends that you can play golf with anytime you want.
Yeah, 100%, man.
It's truly remarkable of what golf can really do to bring a community together.
Yeah, I mean, we see it time and time again. Somehow, some way, golf pulls through in just the most amazing ways. And I think now more than ever, with the shutdown, with things politically, just be decent human beings. And I think golf, you find that in golf more often than not. As everything, there's bad apples, but you find so many decent human beings playing the game of golf that I'm so proud to be part of, the golf community and to try and do our part in giving back to the golf community in any way we can. But just, being there for everyone. Golf welcomes everyone. Golf is the ever welcoming sport. Whether people like to debate that or not, I'm not here for it right now. I know it welcomes everyone. And I'm so happy to hopefully, continue to grow that in some way or another. I love this game. I love what it's shown over the past couple months that we've been without it. And damn, I'm glad to have it back.
I know. It's crazy too, because it's the most fun and most frustrating game you ever play. But I'll tell you what, once you walk off 18, it's where are we playing tomorrow?
That's what bonds us, man. Everyone knows it's a struggle. Everyone knows how damn hard this game could be. So everyone knows, listen, you're out here struggling with me. Hell yeah, I like you.
or I'll text you like, dude, I quit. Clubs are going on eBay. I'm having a bad day. He'll text me, what time's your tee time tomorrow? 8:15. Okay.
I got an I'm back text from you the other day. Proceeded not too far behind with clubs are on eBay.
Yeah. Yep. But guess what? Man, I'm playing at 2:30 tomorrow. So
I love it. I absolutely love it. And one more thing I want to talk about before we head on out. We are closing in on being over the hill on our podcast episodes. And that is not going to go without celebration. We are happy to announce that we are going to do a pretty sweet giveaway with a shoe company that we did a review for. We did a kind of heralded review for it. It's gotten a lot of good feedback and everything on the YouTube page. So, guys, if you haven't checked out our episode, go check that out with Squares Golf CEO and founder Robert Winskovitz. We also, like I said, did a review of the shoe, kind of all-encompassing review from unboxing to wearing them and everything in between on our YouTube page. And we love them. We are kind of head over heels, no pun intended, over on these Squares golf shoes. And we let the company know about it. And they've been so gracious enough to partner with us in doing a giveaway. So, guys, for our 50th episode, we are going to be giving away not just the Squares golf shoe itself, but the Squares golf socks with the shoe, a carry bag, a Squares golf carry bag, and a Squares golf hat. So, guys, you're not just getting the shoes, you're getting everything encompassing the whole package of Squares golf. And we're really excited to do that. So we're going to launch that Thursday with our 50th episode and give you guys a week to sign up. So details will be in that post that we send out Thursday, but stay tuned for that, watch for that, and, get entered. Get yourself a pair of these Squares golf shoes for free.
Yeah.
Free stuff, good stuff.
Always love some free stuff.
But good free stuff. is even better stuff. And let me tell you, you know, it's funny because I ordered a 10.5 in these shoes right off the bat. And I was a little like skeptical, I guess. And then I got a second pair of shoes. And then after I wore them in a little bit, let me just tell you, these shoes are phenomenal. You know, as we both mentioned in the review, which I think is just an honest opinion, they're quirky looking down at when you first put them on. But once you wear them 2 or 3 rounds, they honestly, you forget about the quirkiness and they just become like kind of a constant reminder of like, all right, where are my toes at? Where am I lining up at?
Mm-hmm.
And
that, and it's just the cushion and just the stability, like I said before. Usually, like when you put on summer shoes, you know, they're tight, they're narrow. So if you like wider feet, they're made of mesh material, so your foot sliding around. These are like full genuine leather. They're wide, they're thick in the heel. I mean, they're a very stable shoe, and it feels like you were locked into the ground. And where do you get your power from in the swing? Where do you get your speed? From the ground. So I'll tell you what, it's there's something special. Yeah, they have the they're not the so-called quote unquote normal look to most people's eyes, but again, yeah, you get past that.
Well, guys,
but hey,
there's also a reason. Yeah, there's also a reason they were Golf Digest Shoe of the Year already in 2020. Yeah, I know we're 6 months into it, but Golf Digest.
Can we get 6 months out of it too?
Where did the year go?
Yeah,
but yeah, guys. I mean, they're the #1 rated shoe of 2020, and for a reason. I'll be honest. I think I'll have these shoes in the rotation for years to come. I think they're just so well built. And this isn't an ad. This isn't a paid ad. This is just us saying how much we've truly experienced the shoes, been skeptical of the shoes at first. We were skeptical of how these shoes were going to kind of operate, breathe, and function. And boy, I tell you what, they've blown away my expectations on and off the course. You know, I mean, just even wearing them, like kicking it back, you know, just kind of, I almost drove home in them one day. I forgot how comfortable they were. So, I mean, that's how good these shoes are, guys. And we wouldn't be partnering up and doing this giveaway if we didn't truly believe in this product. It's kind of our first partnership, actually, in a brand that we really believe in this big. So took us 50 episodes to find a product this freaking good to be able to give out to you guys. So we're so happy to do this and so thankful for Squares and Robert Winkskowitz over there and just the you know, the love they've showed to us. So guys, check that out. We'll also be throwing in some cut golf balls, some tees, some stickers, you know, putting some Enjoy the Walk flair on our side of things to get you guys some Enjoy the Walk swag as well. So details of that post will be out. You can also just, if you want to pick up swag on your own, find us at www.enjoythewalkpod.com. And as always, guys, Twitter and Instagram, Enjoy the Walk Pod. So guys, that's it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and thank you so much for listening. If you guys enjoy the episodes, go give us a rating and a review on iTunes and share it. Share it with a friend who you think enjoys the game of golf enough to listen to the Enjoy the Walk podcast. You know, without you guys listening and without you guys sharing the word, we wouldn't be able to do this. So, you know, thank you guys for listening. And if you love us enough, share it. We'd truly appreciate it. So I think that's it for us, guys. We're back on the course. We're playing a lot, so the content is out there. We're hoping to just continue to play as much as we can. Dante, I know you said you got a couple tee times. You're playing 36 Wednesday.
I am playing 36 Wednesday. Well, morning round with Dad at a different course, and then back to the Deer to play in a money match on Wednesday night. So
I love a good money match.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get some snippets for you guys. See you guys. Let you guys know how I'm doing. So
yeah, I hopefully have a new drone coming in the mail on Wednesday. So Steve got a new GoPro as well. So we're scheming down here on the Eastern Shore, buddy. We got some good videos, I think, in the making once we kind of cut our teeth on the you know, videography side of things. We're new to it, but we're learning. So excited to get that content out to you guys too.
And possibly an appearance of Dante down on the Eastern Shore of Maryland coming up soon.
Yeah, Dante's been down a few times before, played my neck of the woods a few times, but it's been a while, so we're going to show him the ropes on the Eastern Shore, and I think there'll be a couple live froms coming to you guys next week, so stay tuned for that as well. And guys, as always, enjoy the walk out there, carry your clubs, whether it's a push cart, whether it's, slinging a Sunday carry or, just a stand bag, guys. Get out there and just love the game. Love it for what it is, and, interact with us. Tell us what you think, because we love talking to you guys as well.
Yeah.
So
where are you guys walking at? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, let us know. Where are you walking at?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Enjoy the walk out there. We love you guys. Till next week.
That's the stuff. One shot at a time.